Hello drivers, I'm Eric Crofta, your technology trainer at Bar-None and part of Bar-None's IT team. We are going to give you an in-depth look into load management, Bar-None's mobile site aimed to help drivers be more efficient, more accurate, and make completing messages easier when compared to your in-cab unit. Now, load management has quite a bit of information to go over, so let's dive right in and showcase what you can find. I first wanted to mention that load management is created with responsive design, meaning that the web page will adjust to the screen size and orientation that you have for your device. On a cell phone, for instance, you may find it easier to use with one hand holding the phone in portrait mode. In this view, you will find that some tables have information that you cannot see unless you drag the screen over. If you wish to see all of the data, though, you have the option of holding your phone in landscape mode, and load management will adjust to your new view. Now, let's get started with load management's homepage. The current and upcoming load assignment section is going to show you basic information about the load that you are currently on, which you will see highlighted in yellow, as well as any loads that you have scheduled in the future. The load number is one of the main identifiers for each specific load, and clicking on this will take you to the load detail screen where you can enter circle of service messages. You can see what the status for your loads are, as well as if you have any load assignments that you need to confirm. The start date and start location, as well as the end date and end location, are available for you to see as well. The next section is the recently completed load assignments. Here, you will be able to see all of your completed loads within the past 15 days. You may click on the load number to see any details about the load, including payroll information about your specific load. Please note, the payroll information will not be available until payroll has processed for the week. The free-form message to dispatch will allow you to communicate with dispatch for anything that doesn't have a specific macro. Send other messages is where you will be able to send messages that are not directly tied to a specific load, such as updating PTA, submitting customer directions, or sending a message to various departments. The Nearby Network Fuel Stop section will show you all approved Bar-None fuel stops within a 75-mile radius, sorted by distance. You can see the satellite view in Google Maps when you click on the map icon. In the Recent Message History section, you can see the most recent 25 messages. You can see the date and time, as well as the subject of the message. To see the full message, you need to click on the arrows that expand the selection. Fleet-wide messages are communications that will go out to the entire fleet, and we have a link that you can click on to find the most recent fleet-wide communications. The Recent Home Time Request section is where you will see the most recent 5 home time requests that you have sent in. This will also be the location where you will fill out the form to enter a new home time request. We recommend that you always have a future home time request entered so that the operations team can plan appropriately. Submit Feedback is where you can send a message to the IT department to give feedback regarding the load management system, provide ways that you think would improve the site, or give some ideas that will make you more efficient. Please note, this area is not for communicating with dispatch. The last section in the homepage is the Learning Center. This is where you can find the user guide for load management if you wish to read about all the features of load management, view the master list of messages that will show you what the macros and messages look like on your in-cab unit or load management, or view other videos or training materials about load management. Now, let's move on to load management's load detail screen. To do that, we need to click on the current load number that you are on. This will bring us to the load detail screen. The first thing we will see will be the load summary section. This will show us some general information about the load that you are on. This will include the load number, your truck's most recent location, and mileage to your next event when applicable. You can also see the hours of service log data with hours gained for the next 2 days, as well as a button that will show your log graph for the past 16 days. You will be able to push the View Suggested Route button that will bring up the routing directions that were sent to you during dispatch. These may differ from the route provided by in-cab navigation, but we trust that you can make the best routing selection during the trip planning process. The View Customer Reference Numbers button will display any reference information that we have for the load. This can be helpful when you arrive for a pickup or if the customer asks you to identify the load with a bill of lading, PO number, or other identifying number. If you need to confirm the load, you may click the Confirm This Assignment button. Depending on your load, you may have additional dispatch information. Please make sure to read this as part of your pre-trip process as well. The stop details will show you information about each stop that is associated with your load. You can see what event each stop is, the location of each stop, how many miles between each stop, the scheduled or appointment time, when you arrived or departed, and what trailer number you will have if available. You may click on the map icon to bring the location up in Google Maps. You may also click the customer name to see the driver directions if they have been submitted. If available, you can also see the average amount of time drivers will spend at this location for this event. There is also a button that will show you what trailers are at each location based on our Skybits trailer tracking system. This includes the cargo sensor reading from the Skybits unit as well. Please always verify the information before moving trailers. The Circle of Service Messages section will show you all of the Circle of Service messages that you have sent in for this specific load, along with event times or trailer or seal numbers, if available. The Send Messages section is one of the most important in load management. This was built to make your job easier, faster, and more accurate when it comes to entering your Circle of Service messages. Load management will look at the location of your truck, the status of your load in our system, and take into account what messages you have sent in already, and will automatically show you the message we think you need to send in. You can go into the drop-down and choose another message, and you may see some warnings that will show you why we think you have the incorrect message. Let's take a look at a few of the different messages to show you the features that will help you out when sending in your Circle of Service messages. Here, we have the Start Load message. You can see that we already have the trailer number entered, so there is no need for you to do that. We need to enter the start date and start time, so we have a button that will use the current date and time. The next thing we need is the date and time for your ETA. We have a button you can press that will use the appointment time for ETA, but if you need to make any adjustments, you can easily enter the correct time. Then we will hit Submit. I do want to talk a little about the green smiley face that we see by the trailers. This is a verification that we have to make sure that you are only sending in numbers that match trailers in our systems. If the green smiley is present, you know that you have a valid trailer. If you see a red sad face, you will know that you have entered a trailer number that is not in our system. Now, let's take a look at the Arrived at Final Delivery message. Here, we only need to enter the arrival date and time, as well as the seal number, and if the seal is still intact. On your in-cab unit, you would need to type out all of this information. But in load management, we need to hit the button that will use the current date and time and verify that the seal is still intact. The seal number is already populated based on the information we have already provided from an earlier Circle of Service message. Finally, we can take a look at the completed final delivery message. The arrival date and time is already populated based on the previous message we sent in. We can press the Use Current Time for Depart button to populate both fields. The trailer number is also already populated based on the information we already have. We then need to click Yes that we drop the trailer. Now, we need to type in who signed for the bill and how much fuel we have left. On your in-cab unit, you would have needed to type out all of this information, even though you have already given us this in a previous message. You can now see how load management will make sending in your Circle of Service messages so much easier for you. The Other Load-Related Messages section is where you will go to send in any messages that are related to the load that you are currently on, but are not part of the Circle of Service messages. These might include updating ETA, letting us know you are running late, or requesting detention. If you are on a split load, you will also see information related to that split load, like tractor and trailer numbers, the driver's name, the event that is happening, the recent location, and ETA if available. You can also view the split load map, which will bring up your location, the other split load driver's location, as well as the split load event location. We would like to thank you for watching our video on load management and for choosing Bar-None Transportation. If you wish to see this video again or other training materials regarding load management, please visit Online Services or the Load Management homepage.